Ryan Trahan has an incredible series where he tries one-star stuff, so I figured that's a great opportunity for me to buy shitty tools on the internet, just like this Wen track saw, with ridiculous one-star reviews like this. I bought this and 5 more, and we're gonna test them out. Let's go. Up first, we've got this gem. This is a $30 8-volt, I can't even say with a straight face. It's an 8-volt drill from Deco, and it happens to be pink. This thing has a ton of one-star reviews, and most of them are about the charger. But Hugo's is my favorite that says, my experience was disastrous, and on its first use, the drill emitted smoke and burned itself out. So we're gonna give it a shot and see if the same thing happens to our little girl. Let's try. It is supposed to, I guess, look like a Dremel. That looks kind of like Dremel packaging. Straight out of the box, it comes with that. A tiny level for some reason, some wall anchors, drill bits, a bit holder, and instructions. Sure don't need those. It's got full charge on the back, and the battery is permanently attached to the drill. You can't take it out and charge it. I guess the first thing we want to test is, can we get this cord to fit in the drill? Because a lot of people are having casing issues, which we can see right there. Kind of tell why. Ours goes in, which is good, but a lot of people's is not. I do feel like there was some play in there. Let's see if it takes a charge. I got a USB thing back here. Lo and behold, that's charging. So the first issue on these one-stars reviews has been negated. This is some high quality stuff. All right, let's bust open these drill bits, and I got some screws over here. See if she can screw some holes. So funny. It's got this like really jank 2-part collet, or nose, whatever the hell that's called. But it does carry all 3 teeth, which I think other people are having issues with. We'll start out by just drilling a hole with these incredible bits. I mean, what a value for 30 bucks. For an 8-volt handheld tool like this, it's probably better to be categorized as a handheld screwdriver over a drill, because let's be honest, 8-volt drill ain't gonna do much. There's only 1 speed, so let's send it. Come on. Okay, wasn't not there, I'll give it that. Doing what it advertised so far. It has no torque, I mean, I'll be completely honest. 1/4-inch bit. Struggling. But like, it's working. So on to screwing some screws, I guess. We only have stars and squares here in my shop. We don't carry any Phillips stuff. We're not gonna be able to blame the bit. We got some 1.25-inch star bits. Let's just see how she does. So once you get to the wood, it ain't going much further, but it did go in. There's no torque on it. I can't get it to bury it. We're already down a battery point. 3 screws and 5 holes in. Oh man, I wish you could smell it. Here, Joe, smell it. The clutch and the brush are already starting to stink.
Stings the nostrils.
That's pretty common though. I mean, I can catch it a lot more because I'm very much not used to using brushed tools these days. Let's see if we can do a 2-inch screw. I mean, it's only 8 volts, so like, what do you expect? A 3-inch screw? At the end of the day, it's a screwdriver. It just can't bury them. It's got no balls.
No balls!
I guess the last thing I missed, and it removed them, and for drilling a couple holes, and like putting together IKEA furniture, it's probably a decent little $30 buy. All of the 1-star reviews that I saw were basically debunked here.
It's a total fabrication.
Am I gonna give it more than a 1-star? No, I'd probably give it like a 2, 2.5. I don't like that the battery isn't removable. I don't like that it doesn't have any speed settings. I don't like the clutch on it. It does feel very cheap, but ergonomically, it's not bad in the hand. It's a decent pink. I mean, not my favorite pink, but it's a decent pink. I'd give it 2, 2.5 stars. On to the next. So 1-star reviews when it comes to tools on Amazon, I guess are quite common.
Who else feels this product is stupid?
Roughly around like the 10% mark on some stuff. These Wen tools I've actually seen all over the internet for a long time, and I've been quite curious on if they're any good. Here we've got the Wen track saw.
Go back to then.
When?
Now!
The C prolongate, whatever that means. It's supposed to work with the Festool track. I'm actually quite curious because the track saws are quite expensive. This one is only like $100. And if it works well, shit. Not the worst packaging I've ever seen. It definitely has brushes, because look, it comes with replacements. These might be instructions. Let's get rid of those. I really do like the black. I'm gonna be honest, I think it looks kind of rad. Some random knob here. The plate itself seems to have some, like, you know, anti-resistance coating on it. The miter has adjustments on both the back and front, which gets pretty jank. That's concerning. How do you work? It comes with what looks to be just your standard combo blade, 6.5, 24 tooth. It says it can plunge on here up to 2 inches. That adjustment's just in such a terrible spot. I think the Festool does 2 1/8. But I guess that's all that's left to do is bust out a track and test this sucker out. Well, I've got a Festool track, so let's see how it goes. And it's that's weird. So it's tight. It won't come backwards, but it does push forward. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Those are more cams. Okay, so there's all kinds of cams on this thing. Fits on the track. Also, after looking at it for a second and playing with it a little bit, this setting here at the top, when I press and come down, it allows me access to this nut here if I wanted to change the blade. First up, we've got some good old OSB here. Just gonna make a basic cut. We're not gonna go crazy. I wanna give it a fair and honest thought. Is it actually worth a 1 star? Because you gotta be like so terrible to be 1 star. Festool hose fits. Plug this thing in and pray. Firing it up for the first time. I can smell the brush. It smells like my first power tool. It sounds absolutely awful. Let's give her a cut. Straight off the saw. It kind of seems harmless and decently straight, but it's not cutting where it should. Like, it should be plunging more or less directly next to the track. It's a straight cut. It just isn't accurate. Very surprised. If you look, there's no gaps. Let's do another one. The dust extraction was fine. Hold on, cord's very short. That lock on the track, I don't like at all. I think it's so dumb. Put a couple clamps on that board to make sure it doesn't move. And then I'll make sure that the cord doesn't get caught so we can give it a true cut. It does feel cheap. You can see here, it started to waver towards the center and kind of jumped in and came back. Let's try like a piece of regular ply instead of the OSB. It sounds cheap, because it is, but I don't think you can judge a tool, you know, performance-wise by the cheapness. Do like a cut that's an angled cut or something. It's not the best tool I've ever used, but this is bar none. Like, better than using a $40 circular saw and setting up a guide and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm giving it a pass for plywood. I've got a slab though. Let's see how she does on that. I've got a scrap bin red oak slab here. I do think it's under 2 inches. Should be able to do a full cut. 24 tooth blade should be good for this. It's supposed to be a combo blade, but could be considered a ripping blade. But let's give her the old college try. See if it, with 1 pass, can cut this. Stupid detent thing. I can't get over that. Right now is my least favorite thing about the tool. Here we go. Full plunge, performed excellent, like flawless. I would say better than some of my other tools. I don't see really any other application for this tool that it's not gonna be okay for. Let's try the miter, see if that kind of works a little bit different. If you're doing waterfalls and stuff, that would be the only last application for it. And I would cut it like this. I'd cut it straight first and then come and do the miter. Let's see how she does. This is interesting. So you see how the edge of my cut here was nice and clean? On that miter, remember I said there was a lot of play? That's where that play comes in. Like, this thing does not have rigid stops on the miter. It's a lot of flex. If I was to give this a rating, I'd probably be around like 3.5 stars. It's loud, it's a little bit underpowered. I don't like that jankiness on the knobs and stuff, but by no means do I think that this is a 1-star tool. I would even recommend it to someone on a low budget or a beginner who wants to get a track saw. That's how solid the straight cuts were. No 5-star review from me like Ryan Trahan, but on to the next tool. Up next, we've got this inconspicuous brown box that has a palm router in it that costs $34.99 and it's supposedly a real big piece of junk. Let's see what's inside. Starting out strong. It comes with gloves, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You never wanna wear gloves when you're woodworking, so this is just beautiful to see. It looks eerily close to another router. It's so crazy how they just don't even care and try to immediately rip off the Makita stuff. But I can already tell by holding that this is an absolute piece of junk compared to this. The review that stuck out to me the most was from my man Alex, and it says, I noticed while routing a project I've been working on that there are sparks flying out of the top of the machine and a burning electronic smell. Not only has this product ruined my project, but it's ruined my soul as a novice woodworker. Well, Alex, I am here to redeem your soul, I hope, or we all get to burn. Once again, we've got another tool that comes with extra magnets for what is gonna be a brush inside. First impressions, don't like the switch, something that can easily get caught while working. A lot of complaints in the reviews that it had no bits, but I would never expect a router to come with bits, especially for $34.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But it is plug-in. Let's plug it in and see if it turns on. It sounds terrible. It sounds insanely underpowered. Just for your viewing pleasure, this is variable speed. That's on 6. This has no variable speed, one and done. Kind of sounds like a cheap vacuum. Here's where I guess a lot of people thought they were gonna get some good bang for their buck, the accessories that go along with it. No bits, but it comes with 2 wrenches to put a bit in. I got a 1/4-inch spiral bit that requires 2 wrenches. Newer routers will have like a pin here and then an opportunity for a wrench, so you only need 1 tool. These are some insanely cheap feeling wrenches. Excuse my gloves. So this is intended to walk it up and down, give you kind of like a micro adjustment, like that. Problem is it caps out here, so it doesn't work. I'm really concerned with that kind of flopping all over the place. I don't know what the hell that is. What is this hole here for?
What are you?
Because I know these go like this, which would be the guide. I guess the wing nut goes down, which I don't like. Yeah, that doesn't feel solid at all. There's a lot of really jank parts. You got a router in your hand, you want your parts to be nice and tight on your machine. Let's just start out with like a tiny little cut. And we're gonna just do like a shallow little cut, see if I cut my freaking hand off. Power cord ever, by the way, it's like 4 feet. This thing's like 7. Okie dokie. So out the gate, that single wing nut, I mean, I cannot tighten that anymore. And you can see we immediately jumped over here, which is no good. It's literally exactly what you do not want. It smells absolutely terrible. That cannot lock. I mean, that is as tight as I can get that, and I'm able to still slide it around. Should definitely come with 2, so.
In my opinion, that sucked.
F that accessory. That review was completely correct. Alex, you are off to an incredible start here with your review, my friend. I'm not sure what this is. Is it supposed to be like a bush, I'm not touching, look at that. It goes right over the bit. Get the hell out of here.
The case?
No, get out, it's not a case. It's like a bushing or something, but I've never seen that. Let's put this edge detail bit in there. Gosh, it's so warm too. I mean, I'm wearing 1 cut. Gosh, it's the epitome of jank. I can hear clicking in there already. That's good. I can feel why my guy's soul was hurt so far with the usage of this. Especially when there's like really nice palm routers out there nowadays that aren't that expensive. See if we can do an edge detail here without like exploding my hand off. This plate is awful. Whatever it's made of, that hollowness sounds terrible. Okay. That worked fine. So it has no brake. That collet's just gonna continue to spin. A lot of vibration in the tool. It's hard to get that on camera, but that sound comes from the vibration and then the hollowness of this pad. I'm just gonna run the Makita one because it's probably pretty darn close. Taking bits out of this is so awful. This was like the best thing you could buy when it came out. You just hear the difference. There's no vibration and all you hear is like that bit that's like just humming really nice. Feel how warm that is. I ran it 4 times. This thing's gonna burn out quick, like so quick. A bunch of the reviews said that. I didn't get flames shooting out of the top. I'm a little disappointed in it, but I wouldn't give it a 1 star. I'd probably give it a 1.75 just because I'm very spoiled when it comes to palm routers. Not a 1, sorry. I can definitely see why it hurt your soul there, Alex. On to the next one. Up next, I got this $50 sander from Deco that is supposedly the worst thing ever. Comes with 1 battery and it's 20 volts. My favorite review comes from Bush, Maryland. Dead on arrival, it says. Need to replace the battery after 25 seconds of runtime. It's not rechargeable. They're incredibly disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
I also saw this a lot with Monique also saying I charged a battery for hours and I sat it for 5 minutes and it shut off. We're gonna see if this thing is actually as terrible as it claims. It looks solid. I mean, we got cordless 5-inch sander out of the box, comes with paper, comes with that, instructions, dust port, and the battery, which is fully charged right now. Check that out, came fully charged. And the charging port is right here, which you gotta love. Nice and cheap. I guess we're just gonna 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, it's already running longer than Monique said it could. Throw some paper on here and give this thing a try. All right. We've got a good old fashioned piece of maple here and some 80 grit paper that came with it. I'm just gonna fire it up and give her a first go round. I don't know if it's the paper. It's removing absolutely nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, let me grab another piece of paper. We got a brand new piece of 5-inch Cubitron, which is like my go-to sandpaper. That was 60 grit, and it removed nothing. We'll see if it's the paper. By the way, I think this box of paper costs more than this sander, which came in at 49 bucks. It's a little bit better. God, this thing sucks. So you can see how much, just watch this sander walk. It literally just wants to, it takes a lot of pressure to keep it from moving. It's at max speed. It's doing the job, but like I said, I had to buy paper more expensive than the sander. I will say this, it's picking up a decent amount of dust, and with a nice piece of paper on there, it's not too terrible. It's already used 2 bars of battery. That's insane. You see it jumping? Every time it turns, it wants to doop, doop, boop. That is no bueno. You do not want that. Claims to be random orbit. I really don't think it is. So a random orbit sander should randomly orbit. It shouldn't just go in one circular direction. So like this is the Waltz random orbit sander, or cordless one with a little battery. It's like top of the line for brand wise. You can see how just bigger this guy is. It's a monster. This one sits a lot nicer, and you can see its sanding pattern is a lot quicker. It's same paper. I think we broke this actually. Very large hand movement. Besides the terribleness, I mean, it's still 2 batteries. It is pretty hefty. I've probably seen worse. Let's see if there was the complaints about the battery and then the charger not fitting. So that'll be my last attempt here. We'll get a little pluggy-do. I mean, it looks like it's gonna work. How do we know if it's charging? Oh, there's a red light on it. Now it's green. Look, it's green with no power. What the F is going on? Now it's red. I guess that means it's charging. Super duper cheap. I'd probably give it 2.5 stars. I don't like the ergonomics. It is quite jostling on the hand as you use it. Also, this paper stinks. Whatever was going on there, that paper, if you're using that out of the bag, you're gonna be pretty upset because it is just not working at all. The dust, as you can see, there's a lot of dust on the bottom here. That happens when you don't have a dust extraction. And then this battery, I don't like the single-use battery. I don't like this charging mechanism. 2.5. They probably just got a bad one on the guys who reviewed it with a 1 star. So on to the next. Coming in at $107, we've got the Nuo Master, the NTC 0023-18 cordless nailer. Let's check this thing out. This actually came with a real battery charger for once. Good on you, Nuo Master. Some little boxes with some stuff. Got a little bit more professional packaging than some of the other junk. Holy shit, is this heavy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that might be completely made of steel. All right, let's get the battery going on the charger, and then I'm grabbing a scale. That is ridiculous. Belt hook. Okay, you can go back in your box because I'm never hooking you on my belt. Just a random assortment of nails. All right, crown staples. How the hell does that work? This is interesting. Usually you can lay the nails down inside of your nail gun. You can either put them at the back or the front, but you can, I mean, easily see how that's not gonna work, because the nails need to go what looks like in this slot here. So we're off to a great start. Yeah, we'll start with some crown staples. Okay. Reason we grabbed this sucker up is because we've got my guy, Sam, 1943. Sam, if you were born in that year, congratulations. You're awesome. But Sam said, I can't get more than 4 nails before it jams. I use it infrequently, but every time. Jam, jam, jam. Jam, jam. Wish he would return it. Very disappointing from Glenda. There's a lag between the trigger squeeze and the hammer strike. It's 2 seconds. That's ridiculous. Full strike force. It wasn't even working in 1/4 inch plywood. 1 star for decent packaging, she said. I will. The packaging was solid. And then Monica says it's very cheap. So let's weigh this sucker. Got our little food scale here.
Right.
Out of the box, no battery, is coming in at 4 pounds and 8.9 ounces. No battery. This thing is 6 pounds and a little over almost an ounce, 6 pounds and 1 ounce. And look how much bigger it is. This thing, oh my goodness. I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to feel that heavy. You got enough charge. With the battery, we're looking at 5 pounds, 7.7 ounces. It's an 18 gauge. This is also 18 with a full battery, 7 pounds, 12 ounces. So this is 2 pounds heavier, but look how much bigger it is. Like you'd expect it to be that much heavier.
It's like super deceiving.
Right? Like this weighs 7, but you're like, okay, that thing's huge. That thing weighs, I don't know, I was blown away. See if it actually strikes. It's so slow. It feels absolutely terrible in your hand. It like throws a jolt up your wrist. I'm gonna shoot a nail instead of these crown staples. It shot 5 without jamming, I'll say that. It's, you hear it? Oh my goodness, it's terrible. It is so bad. Well, you've got to try that. It is the worst feel in my hand I've ever had with a nail gun. It's completely turned up. Oh, how terrible does it feel in your hand?
Awful.
It like shoots back.
It's worse than like actually hammering it by hand.
That click there is like compounded by like 5-fold. Get that in here close. I want you to hear what's going on in this part of the gun. It is, take my mic to it. Listen to this. It is so loud.
You can see the jolt actually go up your whole arm.
What did that cost? $107. Just for comparison, this is shooting a longer nail and there's no movement in your hand when it comes out. I'll tell you what, and we actually couldn't get a single one of these screws to bury, and it's completely turned up. If I turned it halfway, they're all, it's just, all of the nails are sticking up. I think this is the first one I'm gonna give a 1 star to. Like, this thing is awful. It's one of the worst tools I've ever held. Heimerdinger that we got from the Temu palette was better than this piece of junk. Do not buy. 1 star. Terrible. I guess we should try another tool then. And now we've got the last tool. This impact wrench from Chemo. This thing was 80 bucks. And the reviews are awesome. And by that I mean hilarious. One from Anoche27. I haven't tested the product yet, but it clearly advertises 350 foot-pounds, and they open the box and it's only 260. And then Dre C says, it broke after the second use, trying to remove a 100 foot-pound torqued nut. It made noise and squeezing the trigger, but it doesn't do anything. We just put some tires on with another torque wrench at 100 foot-pounds, which means we're gonna get to test this just like one of our other tools. I will say out the gate though, best packaging on any tool so far. See what's inside. So we've got box. It has its own charger, which we always are appreciative of. Here's the gun itself. That looks very close to a Hitachi. Why is that so damaged? Hopefully that's our battery. The battery comes with one of our beautiful holes in the middle of it again for charging, right there. Comes fully charged and a rainbow charged to say at that. Light turns on, feels terrible in the hand. I mean, it's really, really thin through here. Oh my goodness. There's no way this is doing anything. Oh, it's on low. Oh, that sounds awful. I'll say something cool that came with it is a bunch of lugs, which is like nice. We got this lug extender. These are probably rated for like nothing and will immediately injure us, but you can't make good videos if you don't live life on the edge. I know I'm gonna at least be safe protecting my eyes with shop shades. Grab yourself a pair if you wanna look amazing and have insane clarity with all-day comfort in your eyewear. Shop shades. check them out down below. I guess let's head outside and take Sam's truck apart.
I don't know, the way you talked about her last time, I don't know if I should let you anywhere near her.
She was very well received. The Javin absolutely blew our minds, being able to break every nut we gave it up to 160. This claims to go up to 260, so it should have no problem. But the reviews say they had nuts torqued to 100, which would be very simple. What'd you torque these up to, Sam?
These ones about $1.20.
It should easily at 260, or at least the 350 it's advertised at, be able to break a few of these. We don't carry a lot of nuts around here, but you know, we do like to play with them.
What did he say?
Sam, you know I don't like to play around with your girl without asking for permission. Would you like to see if this beautiful piece of equipment works?
Oh, I'll give it a shot.
With these nuts, with these lugs, these sockets that came with it.
Yeah. I feel like they're like painted black.
Yeah, there's no way they're impact rated. And 3, it's on high. You think you can handle it? 2, 1, send it. It worked. Send her back.
You want to try any more?
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's working.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'd work on like a real truck lug.
See, I didn't know I came here to be disrespected.
Do we want to try on the 250? Do we have an impact? No, that does take special sockets, though.
Do they?
They have the star lugs on them.
Chris's tires off.
I get the same tires as him. You can go take one off mine.
Do you have the star lugs?
I don't know.
So this is Joe's truck. We'll just say Joe doesn't work with his hands, so his truck's a little prettier than Sam's. Go ahead, though. Give her a send. Maybe take the extender off. You know, maybe we're gonna get some excuses losing torque. I mean, I think the rating on these can't be much more than your truck. I think you just got some old nuts on there, bud. A hair movement, try another one. It ain't doing shit. That's disappointing.
Still at full rainbow though.
Full rainbow on the battery. I mean, we don't really have many other tests to use an impact wrench on. The box says 350, the reviews say 260. We're literally trying to break something we know is in the low 100s. I gotta be under 150, right? Doing absolutely nothing, not moving at all. I'd be so pissed off if I wanted to use this in like one of these, a mechanics setting, and I paid 80 bucks for it. I actually wouldn't be pissed. 80 bucks is so cheap. Well, just another piece of shit. I'm giving it a 2-star because the rainbow on the battery, it's an exquisite feature that you don't get in a lot of tools. Sorry, Chemo, you suck. That's gonna be a wrap on this video, guys. If you have any tools you want me to go and do stupid shit to, let me know. Leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to try. And make sure you subscribe. See you on the next one.